I do like an icy brew. Like an icy beer is quite nice, especially when they pour it out and the froth is icy. Gold.
I've never
especially in
had
the sun.
that before.
But, mate, it's like you got to get that timing just right if you're doing it at home, where you put it in the freezer, you come back like 45 minutes later and you pour it out, and you just get a little bit of like icy slush. That's the beer that like melts super quick, but then it's just absolutely frozen, and the froth is just gold,
like a nice yeast infection.
Oh,
mate.
my God.
It's like a nice yeast infection. Yeah. Oh,
Fucking woof.
Hello and welcome to the SlapDuck podcast. My name is Lucas Shin. With me, as always, we should have figured out which way round we were, but on the left-hand side, it's Mr. George Gessie.
Oh, yeah, that's me. Hi, guys. I'm George Gessie.
And on the right-hand side is Mr. Sully Iqbal.
Hey, Sully Iqbal, a.k.a. Ewan McGregor's rat tail from the Phantom Menace.
Oh, my God. How did you just improv that? What is that?
Maybe he was like, he really wanted a haircut and thought, what's the worst haircut in human
my
cinema?
Thought process to the viewers. On my table, there is a Kylo Ren Knights of Ren mug, bottle type deal.
Bottle, yeah.
Jesus.
So I was
Plastic
like,
bottle
okay,
thing.
Knights of Ren, Star Wars. What's been big recently? Deleted scenes from the prequels. Ewan McGregor's in the prequels. Ewan McGregor has a rat tail in The Phantom Menace.
GG.
Hands down, one of the worst hairstyles I've ever seen.
Let's
the
not
little rat tail.
Let's not jump to conclusions, okay? Let's not do that. All right.
Hello there.
George,
Yo,
where can they find us?
they can find us on iTunes and Spotify and Stitcher Radio and anywhere you can find great podcasts of the like. And the important one that I like to mention, that we always mention, is Radio Haver at 6 p.m. GMT on a Tuesday. Or I guess
Boom.
it's British summertime now, so BST,
BTS.
behind the scenes.
Love Jimin.
Behind the scenes, Phantom Menace, deleted scenes, Rat Tail.
So exactly.
Rat tail.
Yeah.
It's become full circle. That's a good place to wrap it up. But thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the SlapDuck podcast.
So I figured, because, you know, we did our like film stuff last week, and anybody who listened to that, good on you, because it was long.
Thanks for surviving.
Thanks for
Long
surviving.
shit. It won't be like it this week.
But I've been thinking over the course of the week. Actually, I'll start with this. How are you guys?
Okay.
Ooh.
Quarantine and that, like lockdown.
All
How are you guys feeling still?
Okay, so last week was my first week of furlough, and I can't really say much more than that, other than I felt super fucking down, pretty depressed.
That
Just kind of like, it was the sort of thing that you have time off, which is kind of how the nice way of framing it is. But when you don't see an end in sight, it gets me super down. And when I don't have something to do or a project, because you can't go out and do anything,
Yeah.
I was kind of twiddling my thumbs, and was really, really down for most of the week. And then kind of jumped on a project that we're working on at the moment, and we'll probably tell the listeners about next week. And since doing that and starting that all up, it's been great. It's been something to focus on, and like every day get up and set myself deadlines of, okay, this day I need to design this template. On this day I need to get this footage, and this day I need to do X, Y, Z and figure this kind of tech side out. And since kind of having that, I've been way better. I've been like way happier, way back to kind of my normal self, which has been really nice. But it definitely opened up my eyes to, if I don't have something on, I'm really not happy, which is a fucking weird way to be.
No, I think it's quite normal actually. Like, as soon as your hands are idle, then you know, what are you going to do? But you seem to be very good at focusing in and like setting yourself actual tasks.
Yeah.
Like when I've been unemployed and stuff in the past, I've literally been like, oh, what do I do now? And then Monster Hunter was just looking at me. I was like, oh, I'm going to defeat this creature. And then it was just nice. But then I got a job in there and it ruined all that.
Damn it. I hate employment.
But I guess it's weird though. It's like when I'm the one that's chosen to take the time off, and when it's up to me, I really enjoy it. And I can do that of like, I've essentially taken time off to just do nothing, or to slob out, or to do things that aren't to do with any sort of work or
Yeah.
creative thing.
Yeah.
But when it's not up to you, you feel like you've lost that control and lost that kind
it's
of
it's that
place
choice.
in the world.
Yeah,
it's super
absolutely.
weird.
I mean, I think we're all creatives, so I think that idea where if you're not doing something, you kind of feel like, oh, what's going on? It's kind of in our DNA,
Yeah.
like a
But yeah, so
mitochondria.
but since having all that this week, been so much better, and kind of been like planning out like things I can do for the next week at least, or if not longer than that as well. So all good now, which is nice.
Good,
I guess
man.
Sully, how are you, man?
I think. I mean, I still have to work, but the past week, especially the tail end of the week, was kind of a bit meh. I was just kind of like, I felt defeated and didn't want to do anything. But I think the
Right.
last couple of days, I like you, I've taken my time to step back and just work on stuff I want to do. And like today, I was very productive doing stuff, and likewise yesterday. So
Nice.
yeah, I think if once you find something you really want to do and you got that project in mind, it kind of really helps yourself.
Yeah, massively.
yeah.
Just something kind of to drive towards, which
Yeah.
I've very much realized how much I need that in my life, which
It's important,
sword.
and I think as soon as you know how you can like control that almost, like you could get unemployed or furloughed, and then you can just immediately switch on to, oh, okay, I'm going to do this then.
yeah.
That's so good to have, and fair play to both of you.
How about yourself, George?
I've been okay. There's been I'm kind of the opposite. I kind of feel like I don't want to work on anything like personal. I don't want to work on anything personal. I'm happy to do anything like in a professional standard, or a professional way, like from work. So like whenever I get a project or something, because it's been generally quite slow, I jump at it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm happy to do
That's
that.
good. No,
But like I've struggled to just like sit down and think of a character or draw an old character or something. It's really weird. It's such a like a backwards, because people are usually like, oh, I really just want to work on my own stuff, and they want to, all that sort of jazz. But yeah, I'm the opposite at the moment. I want to work for a company.
yeah, it's an ebb and flow, I suppose. The two go hand in hand. The stuff you work with your company at work may one day spark the idea of, oh, okay, there's this thing I want to do myself, and vice versa.
Or this style I'd like to work in, or something like that. Yeah,
Definitely.
So there's been a few like personal bouts, but that's been okay generally. And I'll probably talk to you guys off air about those kinds of things.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone's ears, eh?
Yeah.
Audience,
Close your
I
ears.
see you listening. I see you trying to figure out
Get
what
that
it is.
sellotape and cover your ears.
Yeah. Audience.
Get
Sellotape, the natural audio blocker.
Yeah.
Van Gogh
Or
yourself,
Get loads of wax.
Van Gogh yourself.
or do a George.
Yeah, just impact some wax in your ears, guys. Just do that.
Nice and hard down that ear hole.
But no, don't do that. But anyway, what I was going to say before I said like, how are you guys, was this is such a like Western thing to say, and I feel shitty for saying this,
Like the Wild West.
like the Wild West. And because
With
like
Jim West.
because I moved back to Birmingham for this whole like this whole lockdown. Sorry, you put the word in my head now. The whole lockdown period. I've been saving a lot of money just in general, because I'm not in London, and I only have to pay rent to my house in London, and that's it. I don't have to pay for travel or food or anything. Thank God. Thank you, parents and stuff, all that jazz. Amazing. So I've got like, I'm saving a lot more than I used to or was able to. And I want to spend money on something. I really want to.
I know how you're feeling at the moment. I'm feeling the exact same thing.
I'm like, for the longest time, I've wanted a Nintendo Switch. It's sold out everywhere. And I don't want to spend like 400 or 500 quid on like an upselled product on Amazon or something.
Yeah, that's not.
Don't wanna do
I'd
that.
rather not do it. No, because essentially all you're doing, you're not supporting Nintendo. You're giving money to some random guy that's trying to be a dick and
Yeah.
Exactly.
sell that stuff higher.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's that. I've wanted that. I bought a bloody USB microphone for this.
Has it arrived yet?
No, I got an email. I got an email from them like the other day from Amazon saying, "Yeah, we're really sorry. Sorry it's taken so long. Like this is ridiculous." And I was like, I've been trying to like contact Amazon for a long time now, just being like, any update, just any update, like
Any update we can,
because
yeah.
it just says, oh, delivery pending. I'm like, okay, that doesn't help me.
I guess the only thing I can think of is because it's a Rode microphone. They make those in Australia, so they're just waiting for a shipment from Australia
Bloody
to
Aussies.
drop in.
Oh, of course it is.
Just
Yeah.
put it in a kangaroo's pouch and have it.
Yeah,
Come here.
yeah, I could do that.
Easy, innit?
So, like, yeah, I've just been thinking about all the things I want to buy. And then I'm like, I saw a meme the other day. It was like spending money on your friends and you're like really happy to do it. And then spending money on yourself. And it's like, oh, no way. No.
I feel
Yeah.
you.
So-
I've been looking at loads of clothes that I want to buy, but I don't like buying clothes online because I'm scared that they're not going to fit and stuff.
I'm the
It's
exact
like a
same.
waste.
I've never bought clothes online that I haven't tried on in the store,
Exactly.
except for this one shirt, and it fits like dog shit. But that's why I have it undone, and it's not.
Yeah, but
it's horrid.
That's kind of in vogue, innit?
What,
Yeah.
fitting like shit,
Nah, but
No, looking like shit. No.
looking like shit. Yeah, that's
having
what
the
I get.
open shirt with a t-shirt on underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's classic Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide.
Yeah.
Look,
Classic Ned. Yeah.
everyone knows Ned.
Yeah.
I think most people other than you, yes.
Yeah,
It's obviously
That's
a Cartoon
all right.
Network kid, not Nickelodeon.
I was obviously never watched cartoons, kid. But thanks for rubbing that in,
That's
George.
peak for you, fam.
Yeah.
No.
That's peak for you, fam. So the question I'm asking is, what do you guys want to buy? And also, have you bought anything recently that has literally changed your life?
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
massively. No,
okay.
I'll go second if you want to
No,
go.
no,
'cause-
I mean, I don't have anything for the second one, but I have something for the first thing.
Okay.
please go, because
Go
I think
for it.
once I say mine, we're going to dive into another rabbit hole.
Oh shit. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
something
Nice.
that I've been looking at it so much the past like 2 weeks, and I want to spend the money, and it's a significant chunk of money, but I can't find anywhere that has it in stock. I was trying to buy a basketball hoop,
Nice.
but like
Okay.
one of the standing ones, because
Yeah.
I don't have anywhere to like screw one in my house.
Sure, yeah.
So I was like, okay, man, I'll buy one, and then they're all really expensive, like 200 quid. I'm like,
Whoa, really?
yeah, for
But
one
wait,
that's
are you
like,
talking like a really tall one, metal?
yeah, one that's tall enough for me to play on.
That's not that bad. 200 quid.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
expecting a lot
yeah.
more.
Yeah, so I was like, 200 quid. I mean, it sounds like it's a lot, but it's less than I would be paying for travel. So like, okay, I'll
Yeah.
give or take, and I've got my credit card, so it'll be put off by a month as well, which is how I always think when I buy things with that card, which is bad.
Well, that's next month's Sully's problem.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm going everywhere on Amazon. I'm looking on Amazon. I looked at Decathlon. I looked on Argos.
Yeah.
They're all like, they're either sold out or they're like, 2 months delivery. And I'm like, I'm hoping to not be stuck inside in 2 months' time. And I might
Yeah.
not want to play basketball in 2 months. I want to play now.
Well, especially because you said that you wanted to move down to London.
Yeah, exactly.
Once we're like all clear properly. Like it could literally like arrive and you're like, yeah, I'm fucking off down to London.
Yeah.
Ship me my basketball hoop
Yeah.
and
Like,
where would you put it in London?
What, are my mum and dad going to play one-on-one? I doubt it.
I love that idea.
So like I'm desperately looking for somewhere with like a basketball hoop. I was even like, you know what, I might just buy a small indoor one, and even those are all fucking sold out. Like,
Dude,
does everyone suddenly play basketball in the UK now? The NBA's not on, so we're just playing ourselves.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We're just playing us.
That's the one thing I've been desperate to buy.
Is it like is it definitely a basketball hoop, or would you go for any other sort of sports thing?
That's not really anything I can play on my own, is there? Like,
Fair.
I don't really like the basketball hoop. I just about have the space in like the side of our house where I can put it. Like, there's no space for me to buy like a football goal a football.
What about a
Like,
skateboard?
Yeah, maybe.
Get a skateboard.
Escape. Yeah,
Yeah, but they are a bit
something.
expensive.
Or maybe I just kind of want to play basketball. I don't know why.
Because you want to go into the zone, that's why.
Yeah, I
You
want to
wanna
get back
become
into basketball.
Kuroko.
zone.
Well, because like when
Exactly.
it like last year when it was in the summer,
Yeah,
we
we just
was
played
all like
basketball.
at lunch just playing basketball all the time
Every day. Yeah. So
Because like near where we work, there's a basketball. What was it called? Like, it's in a big cage. It's meant for football and basketball. They got hoops and stuff.
Yeah.
So we were playing that, and I guess because it's getting to that time of year again.
Yeah.
I am kind of looking forward to that.
Also, I was shit, so I was thinking, I could get good for when we played.
What, and then just destroy everyone because you
Yeah.
actually had practice where we
Except-
haven't played for over a year at this
Yeah,
point.
except for Michael, who's just 6'2". So,
and and he keeps saying it's in his genes. So
well, I mean, basketball's a big sport in the Philippines,
fair enough.
Yeah.
so he's
Yeah.
Filipino and tall. So like, I can't beat him.
Wham
Yes.
wham.
Wham,
Double
wham.
wham.
Double whammy. I don't have. I need to think of something I bought recently. So I'll.
Okay.
Okay.
George, have you got something that you want to pop in before I go?
I said that I wanted to buy a Switch. I said
Mm.
that I wanted this microphone. And now I'm just kind of like looking at random shit. Like I spent a fair bit the other day looking up like, you know, those therapy guns? Where
No.
they're like
Oh,
they're like
yes,
they vibrate and stuff on the
massage
end, like
ones.
massage guns.
yeah.
I was looking at them and I was like,
Oh,
the Theragun is like 300 quid. I'm like, really? 300 quid? And I saw
George-
those,
George
like,
wants a good
78
pounding.
in it. I know it sounds very sus, but
Very
Just
sus.
massage
I
gun.
just, you know, like I just want to spend money on something,
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is such a privileged thing to say. Like
It is.
I can't believe it.
I'd say I don't know if it's like you want to spend money or something, but it's almost like you're not going out and doing anything. So the idea of buying something and getting something new is exciting because it's the only way of
Yeah,
getting that sense of excitement. Because otherwise, like on a week out, you're like, oh, I fancy going out and just having a good night out. That would be spending some money, but it would be the excitement of going out with friends and having a good time.
yeah,
So I think it's more like, oh, if I get this, then I can have a good time with this, or a good time watching this, or playing this,
Yeah.
or like playing basketball, or playing the Switch, or whatever it is.
Mm.
I think for me, that's what I found when I'm looking for stuff. So like, all right, one of the first things, a bit like you with the Switch, I came very close the other day to buying an Xbox One X because I thought
What?
Yeah, I'm just gonna fucking buy an Xbox, but I
Yeah,
guess you get
fuck
Game
it.
Pass.
that's literally what I was thinking. I was like, if I do that, I don't need to buy a single game. I just get Game Pass, which is £1 for the first month and then a tenner each month.
Yeah.
And you get all of their games plus a ton of other games. And you're like, cool, I could do that. And it literally got to the point where I loaded it into my cart on Amazon. I was kind of like, do I actually fucking need this? Like, cool, I can go and play all of Gears of War and all of Halo and the few other excuses that they have. But we're 5 months away from the next generation of Xboxes coming out.
Yeah.
I might as well just fucking wait if I really want that. And at that point, the new PlayStation will be out, so I'll get that and won't be worried and all that kind of shit. So I just like talk myself off the ledge for a little bit.
But what
And
about
I'm like,
Forza Horizons?
couldn't give a shit for money. It's not Burnout Paradise, so I don't care.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like just go back to playing Assassin's Creed and something else will come up and you'll be fine. Like in a month, fucking The Last of Us is out. So
Oh,
True.
yeah. That's the next
It
thing
is
to
the
buy.
last one of you
Yeah.
guys.
so yeah. But something that I never actually told you guys that I did, and it happened like 2 weeks, like about 4 weeks ago that I did this.
Sounding.
So,
Oh my god.
oh god damn it, Sully.
What did you say? I missed that.
He said sounding.
Sounding.
Oh,
I-
you don't know.
oh, this is an Urban Dictionary joint for you.
Oh no.
Sully, care to explain what sounding is before I move on?
Well, sounding is the practice of when a male, well, in general, a male will put a something up their weenie hole.
Their urethra. Yeah.
What?
It can sometimes be like a little round thing, can be like a rod of some sort. I
A
believe.
rod?
Cotton wool bud, whatever you fancy.
Oh no. No.
Oh,
So yeah,
sorry, apologies.
So no, I didn't dive into sounding a few weeks back.
Now the joke makes sense.
Yeah. So what I did was I sold my laptop a few weeks ago.
Oh shit! Which one?
My MacBook.
Oh,
So
You sold your
okay.
MacBook.
yeah. So my MacBook.
I didn't know you had a
was-
MacBook. What?
Yeah. Well, so this is like, all right. So like overall story for this, and come on the journey with me. So I had my MacBook since the last year of university. It's something. It was technically a 2014 MacBook Pro 15-inch. So it's 6 years old. Battery was shot to shit on it. I mean, GPU. Anytime I did anything with it, like would fuck it. Like all the graphics on the screen would slow down when you turned it off. Like it would. But it was basically in the process of dying. I thought, fuck it. All right, I need to upgrade. So I looked at getting a new MacBook Pro. Fuck that. They're super expensive, especially
the brand new ones.
the brand new ones. And it's like, if I didn't have the iMac that I use to do all my work from home and all that kind of stuff, then yeah, cool, that would be my work thing. But for just the day-to-day, I don't need to go for that. So then I started looking at the MacBook Air, and the same sort of idea came up to me. It was like, if I get a MacBook Air that could handle the stuff that I would need from a day-to-day laptop, like I'm basically watching stuff, going to web pages, but also doing like light photo editing, light video editing, all that kind of stuff, if I'm on the go. It racked up to, again, a fair bit. So I thought, fuck it. I don't need to get something with the exact same operating system as the thing that I have at home, because what's the point? So what I ended up doing was buying an iPad Pro.
I knew it. I knew you'd buy an iPad.
Nice.
So this is now like my essentially laptop, my day-to-day laptop. And the thing that kind of sold it was this, was
it
the
cool
Magic
keyboard
keyboard stand. So like, because you just like pop it on and it essentially turns into a 13-inch kind of keyboard with a full thing, trackpad and all that kind of shit.
That's pretty cool.
It's kind of low.
And it's the sort like, I mean, the overall price for it, because I went for like the 1 terabyte model because I thought, fuck it, I'm not running into like storage issues like I did on my last Mac, because file sizes are only going to get bigger. There's no point me getting like 256 gigs because that will just be gone super quick. And it's very much changed what I do day to day. I can still watch Netflix and I still watch YouTube on it. I still can take notes and do emails and web browse. Because of the new operating system updates onto the iPad Pros and stuff, it's like full-fledged Safari desktop style, so there's no issues on there. So it's no longer like a mobile thing. It's kind of that in-between mobile and desktop, which has been really nice. The extra stuff, though, it's been like having the pen, or the Apple Pencil.
Yeah,
Did you have to pay for the pencil as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, the pencil's like a separate thing.
Okay.
So 100 quid, I think.
Yeah, about 100 quid. I got a very small discount because my mum's works for the NHS. I think it ended up being like £5 off the Apple Pencil and like 10 quid off the iPad Pro, which not much of the saving when you have to buy fucking Apple Care, but you know, one of those things.
That's at least like 45 Freddos.
Isn't it like 3 Freddos at this point? Come on, guys. Inflation. But yeah, it's been really nice to use, and I'm using it very different. Like, because it's an iPad, you have those iPad apps, like the Comixology apps. I'm reading way more comics, and with a lot of the stuff that I've been doing for the project that are coming up, I'm using Adobe Spark, which is kind of like their brand building and social media managing kind of asset tool, and it works flawlessly on the iPad, especially with the pen. You can like pretty much do everything I would need to do in Photoshop, but without the excess of Photoshop.
Yeah.
It's lovely. And lots of that kind of stuff. I even got Procreate, which for a tenner, it's amazing. It opens up Photoshop documents. You can kind of draw on it.
Yeah, man.
Like, it's very much changed what I do. And I will have to say, like, I wouldn't say for everyone to just jump into it, like, get rid of your laptop. Because, I mean, if I didn't have an actual computer, you still need an actual computer to do a bunch of stuff because it's not an actual computer. But it is a very creative tool, and I'm fucking loving it. But that was my big kind of expense fairly recently was, okay, this is going to be the thing that I use for the next 5 years. I'm going to dive into it and like really go for it. So I got the 12.9-inch one. So essentially it's like a 13-inch screen.
Okay.
As close to that as possible.
It's about the size of my laptop then.
Exactly. So I thought, fuck it, I can get something the size of a laptop. The 120 hertz refresh rate on that thing is smooth as butter. I love it. It's fucking... Not something I ever thought I would care about, but oh my God, it's lovely. And it's just been really bloody nice. And since then I've not bought anything because I thought, fuck that, I've just bought this. I should really start saving money. But yeah, it's something that I very much enjoyed using, and would recommend to anyone that is kind of contemplating the idea of maybe jumping that way if they don't need things that a dedicated computer can do.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. So I'm quite, with this question I asked earlier, I'm happy with this answer.
Thank you.
That's
I thought,
cool.
because I wasn't really sure when to bring it up, because I thought, I just see how I go along with it and see, like, not like a full review, but say like whether it's worth it or not worth it. And yeah, I'm 100% happy that I did this.
Man.
It's
iPad
absolutely
Pro is
lovely.
amazing.
It really bloody is. And it's because I was just doing like some photo editing the other day, and my computer, the computer that I traded in for it was like top spec at the time.
Yeah.
And that shit chugged when I loaded in a raw image into Photoshop. And this thing is just like, it doesn't even have to like do anything. It's just like piece of piss. Next. Come on, mate. I loaded up 4K footage on my laptop before and it would chug. And this thing is like, throw something hard at me. Come on, man. It's a very powerful tablet that I did not expect it to be. Like, I read the reviews, meant to be super powerful. Was not expecting how powerful this thing was since I've started using it. And I'm absolutely loving it.
Nice.
Did you
And I need to do a call out. YouTube, update your fucking app. Jesus Christ. Every other app works perfectly in it. And it's the one app that you can't do picture in picture. And you're like, oh my God, let me do picture in picture, YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
The thing now where you can put it on the side whilst using other stuff, can't you?
Yeah. Netflix
That's
does
sick.
it perfectly. Amazon does it perfectly. YouTube doesn't. So sort your shit out, YouTube, please.
What a dick.
I know, right? But I guess that is a very 1% thing to ask for. Hey, my iPad Pro, YouTube isn't perfect on it.
Yeah.
So
YouTube, get good.
Get good, YouTube.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of what I've been up to.
That's pretty dope.
And actually something that it's very different to this, but so last week I was chatting to a friend of mine, and she writes for a bunch of music sites. And one of the sites that she writes for is, I think they're called Read Dork. And they did a music festival last weekend. So like everything was online. They had artists from around the world live streaming sets in, and it was really bloody good. And I've noticed lots of like magazines and places are doing these live festivals, but live stream from home festivals. And I'm wondering, like, have any of you guys watched anything like that, or has there been any live event kind of version from home that you tuned into over the past few weeks?
See, I get really weird about stuff like that. No,
Go on.
that's not entirely true. Sorry,
Okay.
I was thinking more about like do you guys watch like BBC in the morning, like the news?
Oh yeah, watch the news in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I'm a hypocrite because I will record myself playing guitar and singing and stuff and put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've all seen it, right? I do that quite a bit because it passes the time. But whenever I see that shit on BBC News where like there's a choir and they're all singing something, I'm like, no, get away from me. I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it.
I fucking hate it. Because you're like, here's a bunch of people was like, and the worst is when it's like a bunch of celebrities, like I guess good at the beginning of all this, Gal Gadot got all her mates to bloody do it, and they just got torn to shreds by all the comedians. It was fucking hilarious.
It was
the comedian parodies of it, of all like the British comedians, was hysterical. I fucking loved it.
It was amazing.
And I couldn't, all that kind of stuff I couldn't give a shit about. But there's something about having actual musicians just say, all right, fuck it. Here, there's this live thing. We're going to do some entertainment for you guys from home. And because they're actual musicians just doing a set, I really enjoyed it.
Like, I'll agree with you on that point because I've been watching so much of the, the NPR Tiny Desk concerts.
Dude, I love those.
They're
Absolutely
amazing. Like, all of them are amazing. Like, all the ones where they're actually in the desk, but now they've been doing like Tiny Desk from home. So they're literally showing like artists in their like personal space.
Yeah.
Like singing and stuff. And do you guys know Michael Mcdonald? Heard of him? You heard of the Doobie Brothers? Like he's a proper old guy.
Yeah, well, the actor.
Michael McDonald? No, he's not an actor.
I'm thinking of someone else.
You're thinking of Michael McDouglas.
Oh yeah, that's probably
maybe
what you're thinking about.
No.
So go on.
Michael McDonald, like he's quite an old singer. He was I think he was in a band called the Doobie Brothers, or he like sang with them a few times. I'm not entirely sure, and anybody who's listening who knows is going to be like, this kid knows fuck all. But he did one. He did an NPR Tiny Desk, and I was like, oh, I've listened to Michael McDonald before. I think he's okay. And then I listened to it, and I was like, oh my god, this man's making me cry. Like, he's so good, amazing. And I watched, the Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah.
They're doing something called the Royal Albert at Home.
Okay.
And, there's a guy. What's his name? His name's Jack Garrett. He's releasing an album in June, I think.
Okay.
It's June, and he played some of his some of the new stuff coming off the album, like as like a everybody donate to the Royal Albert Hall and stuff.
Yeah.
And I listened to that, and it was amazing. It's so good. So I'll agree with you when it's like professional artists, but when it's just amateur like people, I cringe immediately and have to leave.
I think it's a delineation, isn't it? Yeah. Because when you're watching BBC News, you're expecting high quality stuff, and like a lot of the newscasters are doing stuff from home. I know, I don't remember her name, but one of the ones that does the US centric news now works from home, and it looks great. But then,
see, that's something that I've actually like found myself moaning at the TV, and my parents going like, "Chill the fuck out! Everyone's working from home." I'm like, "No,
boomer."
So it's legitimately, and I just stopped doing this because at this point they're not going to get better, or they will get better. But there's lots of stuff that people are doing stuff from home. It all looks really, really terrible, especially when it started, and it sounds terrible, and it's the sort of thing that like, why does it sound so bad? And my parents would be like, "Well, they're doing it from home." I was like, "Yeah, well, YouTubers do stuff from home, and it looks fantastic, and it sounds fantastic, and a lot of them are one people operations. So why can't we get people with a production, like with actual production studio behind them? Like when ITV are doing like interviews or like actual shows of people from home, why not just send them a fucking camera with a lapel microphone, have someone like Skype in and tell them how to set it up and do it properly? But none of them are like, there's very few that I've actually seen that look halfway decent.
It's 9 weeks, man.
It's 9 weeks. I get it in the first couple of weeks, but at this point, if you haven't sorted it out, please, it feels like a lack of trying. One of the worst that I've seen is sorry. No,
go. Sorry. No, go. I'm reacting.
Okay, so one of the worst that I've seen, and I don't mind the show. Was it Sunday Brunch on Channel 4? It's Tim Lovejoy and the fucking chef. I can't remember. It's normally a fairly fun show. It's just a bit wild. Yeah.
Which one? The Italian one?
No, it's really annoying because the chef is way better than Tim Lovejoy. What I realized during this whole like their setup is most of the time the cameras are set up really bad and the audio is set up really bad, and they pop a camera with like a light right in front of it, so it always gets blown out so you can't see shit, and you're like, someone please tell them you have an entire. You got producers at Channel 4 that are probably watching the stream going, "Oh shit!" Fuck. And just call them up and say, "Move the camera." But it really annoys me. But I have realized that lots of interviewers, when they're not in an interviewing environment with a lot of people to bounce off of, are really bloody terrible. Like my mum actually noticed this one the other day where she was like, that Tim Lovejoy, he doesn't actually listen to their answers. He just reads off a list until they stop speaking and moves on to the next question. And I went back and watched one of his interviews, and that's exactly what he does. He says a question, and then you can see him kind of like checking out. And when they stop talking, he goes, "Yeah," and then says the next question. You're like, it's so bad.
That's so alpha. That's such an alpha move.
That's just the old way of doing things, isn't it? Like,
there's no conversation to it. Like, they don't care what people are saying. It's just like, let's get through these questions. And I guess it works within a studio environment because you've got like they're chopping up vegetables and cooking along with the chef, and he's asking questions, and you kind of get distracted by the fact that he's just reading off a list. But when when you're at this point and you've got to be engaged and have some sort of conversation, it really falls short for me at this point. It's just, I don't know, when you have someone like Joe Rogan who can do a 3-hour talk with someone and it's just them two and what's his assistant's name? And
Jamie.
And you want to actually sit down and watch the whole thing because it's engaging the whole time, and these people can't hold a conversation for 5 minutes. It really kind of shows that maybe we need to approach the way that we do interviews and broadcast media a bit differently.
Apparently Joe Rogan's just gone off the deep end now.
Really?
Like, I think he's just gone nuts.
That doesn't surprise me.
He's become basically like Elon Musk's fanboy.
Well,
Like-
he had him on again, didn't he?
Like, oh, I hate lockdown, man. It's a breach of my civil liberties. It's like, apparently he's gone off the deep end.
Fuck off. I imagine he's still going out hunting elk and like
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
carving
He's
their
probably just
flesh
like,
up.
Yeah, man. I've got a, because he's got his own tests. Like he's
Does
got
he?
non FDA approved tests.
Jesus Christ.
So he's testing people, and it's like that doesn't count.
That doesn't sound right to me.
They're not FDA approved. And also, the Graham Norton show was on last night, and it really, even that speaks to like the fact, like Graham Norton looked great because he was in his like studio. I don't know who the people were that were on the interview. There was a lady, her setup was fine. It looked like she had an actual camera and like it was angled well and she was lit well. And the guy was just kind of fucking, apologies, sat there, looks like he was on his phone and had like his earphones in.
Yeah,
Like the plug-in earphones. And I'm like, you're on the Graham Norton show, man. The BBC could send you something to do the stuff and you send it back to them. And I don't know if they were doing it live, but
so like this is like the maddest thing as well is you can get lapel mics that plug into your phone. So that's where the audio routes through. So if you didn't want to send anything to anyone, all you would have to do is send one of these like smart lapel mics, plug it in, set it up, have them like have their headphones in so they can hear, so there's no loop. And that's all you'd have to do just to make, from an audio standpoint, things so much better.
Yeah.
But they're not even doing that. And like when it kicked off, Jamie Oliver started this kind of, he like got his team together and did a really quick like recording a couple of sessions of recipes that you can just do during lockdown that there's nothing specific in them. You can just use anything from around the house. And that was the idea of it. It was a really good concept. They probably recorded a few days before they had to like kind of stop, and it went out to an editor. And then after that, he started doing them himself and then sending the footage to an editor and cutting it with other stuff.
Yeah.
And it was obviously being recorded with his phone, which is fine. Like, movies are shot on like iPhones at this point and they look really good. But I don't think anyone kind of put that much thought into it. Like he obviously thought into the recipes and just wanted to get content out there.
Yeah.
But it looked really rough. And there are simple things like, if you're a production company, the camera people there must know, okay, download like the Pro Cam on your iPhone or Filmic Pro, just so it looks better, has a higher bit rate. So when you send it to us, we can actually edit it and it doesn't look super grainy. Simple things like that, which don't take a lot of effort and is literally just downloading an app and using this specific app, could make a lot of this content look so much better during lockdown.
Yeah.
And sound a lot better. And then editors have a lot more to work with. And I'm still kind of shocked that we're 9 weeks in, at least in the UK, and they're still not doing that. And maybe this is just like too much of a deep dive from my side of it, and I should just think, fuck it, at least they're making stuff. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like
I think that. Yeah. Shut up.
I shut up now.
don't know.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's weird because I think you would assume. I don't know. I think the BBC won't change. The BBC is always going to be this kind of like old school bureaucratic type thing. I mean, I can't go into detail, but through work stuff, what I've heard and spoken to people about, that's kind of how the BBC is.
Oh, dude, from being at the BBC for a day for, I was at like a further into an interview stage to work at a company that works out of their office. Yeah, I heard the exact same thing.
Yeah. But I the likes of Channel 4 and ITV that are very like, they're really good at responding to the current climate. I'm surprised that they've not been like, okay, let's kind of turn to our digital division of ITV or whatever and see how they think we can improve this.
Yeah.
It really surprises me that a lot of these big companies haven't gone out and hired like big YouTubers to run stuff for them.
That's a good point.
That's actually a good shout. Or like hook with them and get some advice on how they handle their setup. Like, okay, so there's some channels that I follow. One of them is it's a tech channel called Linus Tech Tips. I think anyone that's kind of jumped on YouTube and looked at the tech side of it knows him. Meme to shit recently for one of the videos that he put out where he looked all moany. But they've got like all their stuff is shot on Red cameras, and they're still shooting on Red cameras, and he's shooting them from his house. Probably not on the Red cameras because they've got those at the office with the people that are kind of cleared to work there. But that stuff still looks fantastic. And it's a simple thing of like, cool, just buy a mid-range Sony camera, send it to them, point at them, and half the time, because most of them have like lots of AI-driven stuff in them or kind of artificial intelligent camera modes, it looks half decent.
Yeah.
So you can get really decent looking stuff with next to no kind of technical knowledge. You just need to get that tech to the people that are going to be broadcasting.
Yeah. I mean, they could make a lot of money with that as well.
Massive
I mean,
amounts.
YouTubers specifically. They could be like, I can send out my equipment rented. So you just pay me and give it back, kind of thing.
Or they can make content for them. It's like,
Exactly.
we're looking for content like XYZ. Cool. I'll do
Easy.
reviews of products and send it. Like fucking someone like Marquez Brownlee, they could be like, cool, could we just get like your reviews so we can show them on our channel or like bolster it? And you're like, yeah, that stuff is all shot at 8K and edited and
it looks awesome.
it looks incredible, and it looks incredible even at 4K. And like from watching interviews with him, he has them all as kind of like master files that would be ready to go broadcast ready.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you could have so much high quality content being put out there if they dived into the YouTube world and kind of started liaising with them, which would then also help the YouTube side of it. Like with those kind of creators, keep them afloat, and it's just a way of keeping the industry together.
Yeah. This might be very conspiracy theory-esque. No, not conspiracy theory-esque, but like, I genuinely think if our big media companies don't start, and this isn't, even if lockdown wasn't a thing, they don't start shifting to being kind of more like YouTube-y or something, they're gonna die out. Like, let's kind of be frank, the BBC's kind of on its last legs.
I mean, I don't know if it's on its last legs, but it is on a downward spiral that I think the whole hold true, this is the way we've always done it approach isn't going to save them from. I think I think it was our current government was saying a good few months back that their plan is to get rid of the TV license.
Yeah.
And that is the way the BBC is funded. If the BBC don't have the TV license, what they have to start doing is getting viewership and surviving of adverts like every other channel has to.
Yeah.
And at that point, you've got to make content that people want to watch rather than... Because for the most part, I'm sure it does matter how many people are watching stuff on the BBC, because they wouldn't make stuff if people aren't watching it. But it would matter a lot more to try and grab a crowd, and a younger crowd, if you're reliant on adverts and kind of selling to the audience.
Again, anecdotally, I know the BBC are kind of just like, well, I made the show, it did meh, whatever, we'll put it on BBC Worldwide, whatever. Like, they're like 6th tier show channel. They're like, yeah, fuck it, whatever, go. It's fine.
Well, there are rumors now that they're getting rid of BBC 4.
No.
Yeah, so I read that today, that a bunch of the presenters on BBC 4 are trying to rally together to like drum up support for it, because there have been mutterings that they might get rid of that, just like they did BBC 3. Which
BBC 3 went online, didn't it?
BBC went online, and since it went online, I have not watched any BBC 3 thing.
It's kind of just become iPlayer.
Yeah.
It's just iPlayer content now.
Yeah.
Why don't they just do that? Why don't they just make everything for iPlayer and then make iPlayer almost like a streaming service?
Because that's something that I've been thinking for a while, and the way that they have iPlayer run at the moment isn't like any other streaming service. Because the way that iPlay's run at the moment it's run kind of trash. And I'm not. There's amazing content on there, but the problem is there's amazing content on there that is kind of Mission Impossible style, self-destructive after a certain amount of time, and you can never watch again.
Yeah.
And the idea that if we're paying for all this content via the TV license, why can't we watch it when we want to watch it? Just like something like Netflix. Like if I go, even if you start a Netflix account at the moment, you can watch everything Netflix has ever done.
Yes. Yeah.
But if I try to go back and watch, say, The Night Manager that the BBC co-produced with AMC a while back, you can't watch it. And like
that's why it's bad. That's why it should be more like a Netflix style service.
But that's what they've started doing with this BritBox thing, isn't it?
Which I'm very against that.
Didn't they?
Yeah, I'm massively against the idea of BritBox, where we've paid for a bunch of BBC content and now they're trying to sell it back for another profit, so you can watch stuff that they've removed from the service that we've already paid for. Either make the iPlayer a completely free service where you don't need the TV license, and then I think it's okay to do something like BritBox, or do something, make the iTV, the iPlayer a proper kind of robust system.
Yeah.
Don't
But
do this half measure.
I don't want BBC to go under. I think BBC is literally like, it is a staple of being British. You put on the BBC for anything from the news to you want to sit around and with the fucking general public and watch.
Yeah, that's
Doctor
how it's
Who.
always been for us. In our
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, that's the only reason the BBC's ever on for us. Or like the football or something, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's also a good thing that places like the BBC are starting to struggle, and say BBC 4 goes under, it opens up a channel, the likelihood for a new channel to come along that's changed the way everything works. Again, TV is on the decline anyway. So
I think part of the reason, and this is like very broad strokes, but there is technically a limit to the amount of channels that they can actually broadcast to the traditional digital way, because there is only there's only so wide a frequency band that they can broadcast over, and HD channels take up more of that band than standard definition channels.
TV is lame.
So the traditional kind of broadcast that sort of way via an antenna, we no longer do analog, but via digital antenna, there is a finite amount that they can actually distribute. So if BBC 4 does go away, it does open the avenue for another channel to take its place.
Yeah.
I think it's still kind of a rough atmosphere to like. That's why something like Sky and Virgin and even Freesat have more channels, because they're not reliant on that traditional broadcast method, because it's a digital broadcast method.
Just end it all.
Just end it all.
Okay, nuke it.
Nuke it from space, man.
Turn it off.
Kim Jong-un is back. Get him to nuke something.
Turn it off.
Turn it off.
Start again.
Yeah.
Start it all over again.
Press the button off and on.
Yeah.
Fine.
Turn off the TV, unplug the router, plug it back in.
Yeah.
Turn it on, turn on the TV, and then maybe your thing will work. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
When you turn it back on, hold down the button for 4 seconds.
Yes. If your phone freezes, hold down the power button for at least 10 seconds. It will boot itself back on.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there anything else you need right now?
Hold down Command R on your computer and it'll boot into recovery mode, and then you can nuke it from there.
That's true. Yeah. If you also hold Alt and then press J, it will make a little triangle, which is why Alt J's band logo is a triangle.
Huh?
Is that real?
Yeah, on a Mac. Yeah, that's what it is.
I had no idea. That's really cool. Actually,
I didn't know that. Hold down F13 and Control.
FM.
Yeah, and I'll just wipe your computer.
Okay, I'm not going to do that. Right.
George's feed just cuts out.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, this was a weird tech deep dive that I didn't think we were going to go on today.
I forgot how we got to the BBC.
Honestly, I said earlier, like, what's a cool thing you guys wanted to buy, and now we're talking about the BBC. Like, how did that happen?
Okay, going back to the cool thing I have bought. I bought a espresso. You're Italian, Luca. One of the. It's true.
Well, that hurt.
There's a mocha.
Sorry, for the audience, we both kind of look like, what the fuck?
Where are you going with this one, Sally?
There was a mocha espresso makers.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
It was like a little cute one, which only makes one
Yeah.
cup of espresso, because I'm the only person who will drink espresso in our house. And like, if I have a double, I will die.
Nice.
So it's like that. It's really cute. It's fun to make. Looking forward to post Ramadan to actually make it in the morning, and not at like 10 in the evening and being like, this was a bad decision.
That is such a good.
Now
Like,
I'm
I'm literally
sleeping.
just gonna check Amazon now for like coffee
Yeah.
machines.
And it's all like, obviously I had to buy the mocha coffee, and I do it all by hand and stuff, but it's really fun.
Amazon Basics have a espresso coffee maker. Yeah.
Wait, are these the espresso coffee makers that like you fill the bottom up with coffee granules and you put a bit of water in? Yeah.
Water,
my dad's got
the
2 of
filter type
those.
one.
He's got like a small one that does 2 and then a big
Yeah.
one that does like 6. And because he's
Yeah.
working from home, every time I go downstairs, he's making another batch and he's just bouncing off the fucking walls all day because he's just hopped up on espressos.
Nice. That's amazing.
Yeah. But
Honestly,
no.
can you guys just send me like cool shit that I think I could buy? Because
Sure, yeah.
I'm at this point, I'm like seriously considering spending like 200 quid on clothes. Like,
But I like
and
this.
it's so sad because I can't try them on. Sorry, Sully, you go.
But I like one of those cool like artist setups, like a board thing, and it's like angled, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
can draw, and
Like
like
a
a
drawing
light
table.
thing, and
See, I could do, but
I don't know what any of that stuff means.
I don't draw traditionally that much anymore. So I
Do you
think the only
mostly
way I
draw
could
digital?
justify it would be like buying a bigger Wacom tablet,
Mm.
which I could, but I shouldn't, because I've already got a Cintiq that's got a screen and stuff.
Oh, nice.
I was
Yeah.
scared. Get one of those. I don't know what they're called, but look, they have them at work. There's like
Yeah.
big fuck off ones.
Yeah,
where it's
yeah, like 22 HD or like the 27Q or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I tilted my laptop, you'd be able to see it. But yeah, I don't want to do that because it might fuck shit up. Actually, fuck it. I'll give it a go.
Fuck it up.
Hang on. This is for all the audience that can't see. I'm lifting up my. You're all going to see my terrible.
Oh, I see a laptop.
disgustingly
shit,
messy
yeah.
room.
Oh,
Very
okay.
sexy.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
I've
you
seen that before. I
Yeah,
think.
exactly. Yeah, it's a Cintiq. It's cool. Oh, sorry. Putting my charger back.
Uh-oh.
Whoops. But yeah. Oh,
Mm.
little.
I don't know.
sound.
Like, I think it's like something like 2 weeks away from my birthday at the moment, and I'm literally in that space of like, what do I treat myself for my birthday? And
Drugs.
I just can't
Yeah,
think of anything.
drugs.
Drugs.
That's the way
Drugs.
forward.
Drugs.
Oh, really weird. I read an article the other day, and apparently, speaking about drugs, and there's some drug dealers who now have started to disguise themselves as joggers in the park to like
Smart.
deliver drugs to people. So you go for a jog, and like like little handoff as you jog by each other. Then there's
Smart.
others that are disguising themselves as nurses
Oh my god.
to drop off drugs.
That's an L.
That's terrible, man.
Yeah.
Why don't they invest in a drone?
Right, drugs by drone. That seems like a very safe
That's a smart
idea.
idea. I'm gonna look into that.
Honestly.
Oh, God.
like I've been looking at back to this awesome first question. I've been looking at buying a new guitar.
Nice,
and
yeah.
like I feel like I'm swaying more towards that, but it's the same dilemma of you can't just buy a guitar. You kind of have to play it first to see if it fits
Yeah.
you and your play style. So I'm like, come on, man.
Buy a
Come on.
kalimba.
I really want a drum kit though, as well.
Do you have room for a drum kit?
Yeah.
Not in this room. Not in my room in London either.
Garage.
Ah,
So
In.
I really
Yeah.
want to learn to play it, but I
Why don't you get
There's
one
no
of
room
the
for it.
electronic ones?
they're
Oh,
not the
Are
same.
they not the-
I
are they
did.
like-
I was looking at getting an electronic drum kit, not like because obviously acoustic drum kits are massive,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you know, you kind of want a thrash on
It's
an
not the
acoustic.
same.
My,
Yeah.
my friend has an electronic drum kit, and the one time I played it, I fucking hated it because it's you just get this kind of rubbery texture back on everything, and no matter like how into it you get, you're just tapping on a couple of pads.
It's like you're playing Guitar Hero.
Yeah, it's exactly
Oh.
like playing Guitar Hero. You can get fancier versions, but it's pretty much
Yeah,
the same
it's
sort
all
of idea.
technically the same. It all feels similar
Yeah.
anyway.
I do miss playing the actual drums. Like we had a bunch at university and at my high school and stuff, and it was just letting loose, like wear ear protection because fucking hell, tinnitus is not fun. But smashing on the drums is a good bit
Yeah.
of fun. That's cathartic. Drop a
There's so
rhythm.
many things I want to do now. And I've got
You got all the time in the
I've
world to do it.
got all the time, and like
Yeah.
the more I live at home, the more money I have to burn.
Yeah.
And like it's bullshit. Like I've been looking on the PlayStation Store like every day. Like I've got all the DLC for this game. I don't need.
I know. I always check on the sales. I'm like, do you actually need another game to
Yeah.
play at the moment?
Yeah.
That.
Honestly.
It's like
Or I'm seeing all the games, like the games that I would buy from the sale. I already have these games.
It's
have-
like
what's the
for
point?
me,
I paid more.
I saw one that was like King of Fighters 14. It's a
Mm.
fighting game that came out like a couple of years ago. And I was
Mhm.
like, oh, I could get that. But then I'm like, do I really want to try and learn another character in another fighting game, really?
Yeah.
So I'm just,
Mm.
so many, I'm putting up walls for myself, guys. This sucks.
I think it's probably,
Sucks so
but I
much.
think it's probably a good thing to have that mindset of like, oh, let's get that, and then do I actually need that? Because otherwise, you will end lockdown with a bunch of shit you're never going to use
Yeah.
and a bunch of
Yeah.
wasted
I
stuff.
wanna-
true.
I want to tell you guys about something really stupid that I really want to buy, but everyone I tell about it says you don't need it.
Please say it.
It's called a free write. So free write, it's like they're a company that makes things for writers
I'm gonna
to
look that up.
go out and write stuff. I want to get their Freewrite Traveler, which is like, it's basically like a system where you just write
Okay.
stuff on, and
It
like
looks sick as well.
yeah, exactly. No distractions or anything. It's just like an old like ink type style screen, and the original one looks like a typewriter, and the new one kind of is like a flip out mini laptop. The typewriter one is fucking way expensive. It's like 500 quid.
Oh,
Yeah, it
these
is.
sort of things. Yeah, those are
Yeah,
That's
expensive.
madness.
And then their flip out like travel versions like 300 quid. And I send it to people and it's like, oh, do you think this is cool? It's like, yeah, it's cool, but you don't need it.
No.
Yeah.
You don't need it in the slightest. You have a laptop. You
Oh,
have a
it's-
phone. And I'm like, yeah, but it's so cool.
You know,
Oh my
like
God.
there's something that I was like, I see like music producers use, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that looks amazing. I want it. It's called the OP1, right? And I was like, oh, this is like a proper sick looking mixing device. And
Yeah.
like it has like a keyboard on it so you can like make beats
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I wonder how much it is. And it's literally like $1,000. It's $1,000. And it's like, it's about half the size of my keyboard
Wow.
on my Mac. Like, oh my God. But I want it.
I mean, if you want to like start making songs, then but
I
$1,000
mean,
is a lot of money.
I've always had that musical touch to me, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean,
And I've
okay.
got guitars, and that's why I want a drum kit. And I've got a
George,
bass guitar and stuff.
if there is something, so you're looking at that thing and you're like, cool, that looks like a good idea. Anyone out there that's super into musical stuff that hasn't heard of this, it's called the C board, SEA board.
Yeah, it's
Holy
It's
shit!
underwater.
It's essentially a digital keyboard that allows for expression and movement and kind of natural progression between instruments. So it's like you can play it a bit like a violin in places, and you can play it like a guitar. And one of the most incredible things that I've seen with it was a promo thing that they did, where they got a guy called Marco Parisi to play Prince's Purple Rain on it,
damn.
and it is truly amazing. And they're like
It's so cool.
£1,000 though.
It's so cool because like even they've got like haptic feedback kind of thing
Yeah.
in the keyboard.
Mm.
So if you have like a violin sound loaded in, you can literally like vibrato your finger on the key.
Oh shit.
And it will like change the sound.
Yeah.
It's madness.
It's
That's
it's
cool.
it's incredible, and it's like they've got smaller versions and a big version, and like the biggest versions well over £1,000.
Yeah.
Oof.
But like you can get the smaller versions that are like, some of them are, I think the smallest one, the little controller one, is like 295 quid, which is kind of in the region of, ooh,
Maybe.
maybe that's
Maybe.
a treat.
Yeah, the maybe.
The maybe,
region.
which is a dangerous place to be, because you're like, oh, maybe that. But then if you just spend a bit more, you get the bigger one, and then you kind of start. It's like that. Oh, it's that.
Their pricing model is just right.
That's
Yeah.
that psychological pricing.
Yeah.
I want to start streaming.
Let's get streaming setups, boys. Let's go.
Let's get streaming set up, boys.
Let's
play
get the
CS:GO
OnlyFans.
together, lads.
Let's get the OnlyFans on the go.
OnlyFans, let's go.
Oh, right. And on that note, I think we should probably wrap it up before Sully shows us his dick.
Oh my
Nah, I'm
God.
show you all the people I'm following on OnlyFans.
He's gonna wrap up his dick.
I'm not.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for listening, everyone. We've been the SlapDuck podcast. You can find us. Yeah, that's really all we need to say.
SlapDuck podcast, man. Google it, innit?
Yeah, Google it. We have a website. If you go to slapduck.com, you can find all the links to everything that we need to. Sully, please update that. Please update that.
Yeah, it needs to update.
You can find us on Radio Haver every Tuesday at 6 p.m., whatever England's time is.
UK time.
Yep, that seems a nice way of saying it. And then, this has been nice to catch up with you guys. And honestly,
Fucking lame.
Honestly, this podcast is the sort of thing that we do it like pretty much the same day every week at this point, and it's something that I look forward to every week. It's kind of like,
Ugh, what a loser.
I know, what a fucking loser.
Can't
like
believe you-
a
and
date
the weirdest
with my
thing
mates.
is, he's actually saying it on the podcast. As well.
I'm
That's
saying it on the
hilarious.
podcast because I want people to know that I'm enjoying this, and it's something that's
Boo.
keeping me fucking sane during all this.
That's fine.
Good.
20.
So sorry if I
22% of our
rambled on a
listeners will get
bunch
to
about
this
the
part.
BBC.
It's fine. I'm sorry. I don't hate the BBC.
I don't hate them. It's just like they
I
didn't
just
hire
think
me,
it'd
and
be
now I'm annoyed.
improved.
I'm just salty. All right.
Wow.
Just think it could be better.
Thank you for listening, guys.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye everyone.
We're- Bye.
Oh,
We're
wait.
gonna make OnlyFans.
Before we go,
oh,
just
oh,
a quick
oh,
thing.
Oh.
I watched a film the other day.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
We watched it like last Thursday, didn't we?
Yeah.
I remember I texted you and you were also watching at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was called Rain of Fire.
And
Yeah,
there
it
we
was great.
go.
Rain of
Yes.
Fire 2020.
And that's
Hey.
where the
Can't even
last
edit that
second
out,
there.
man. Can't even edit
Last
it out.
second
boy.
there.
yeah, there's no way I could edit that out in the slightest.
Yeah, man. Because we're still talking, so you can't edit it out.
Yeah, you can't edit it out at all. You can't really
No,
edit it. Can
there
you?
wasn't
'Cause
there
we're
wasn't
still
a
talking about
perfect bit of silence between there, was it? No.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I don't believe in that.
Rain of Fire.
I'm fine.
All
I'll watch that one day.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh.